Many investors say that buying US stocks during recession is a very smart thing because you would be buying at least 20 or 30% lower from where the market was just a few months ago. And I'm not a financial advisor, I have no idea if the price will reverse upwards or it will continue crashing, but what I know with certainty is that if you decide to invest in stocks or if you decide to trade US stocks, you need to have a decent and regulated broker or platform to use. And in today's video I will share with you the best brokers for US stock trading that I'm personally using for quite a long time, and I will share with you some strategies that I use for trading US stocks and investing US stocks. And this video is sponsored by the one and only subscribe button. So if you have missed to subscribe, make sure to do it right away while I move myself to the computer. Hello everyone, it's Pet Alexander. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will start with the brokers that I use for trading. With expert advisors or manually, doesn't matter, you need to look for brokers that are offering good conditions, low spreads, low commissions and low swaps. So to make it easier for our traders, we have created the brokers page at eatradingacademy.com where we have listed all the brokers we are currently using, and we keep this page up to date so we can see a few brokers that I have been using personally together with my team, and we have been very transparent when reviewing the brokers. So there are some pros and cons. Of course, the regulation is very important and you can test any of these brokers. I'll put link down below in the description. However, these are CFD brokers, which means that you will be trading on the value of the price. And if you're a beginner, I will give you an idea what that is. For example, one of the brokers that I've been using to trade indexes such as Dow Jones and the S&P 500 is the Black Bull Markets, and with that broker recently I traded this pattern formation, very simple one, on the daily chart right after we had that double bottom from the Dow Jones, and as you know, double bottom is confirmed right after the middle point is reached. So at that point this double bottom was confirmed and I caught pretty good move in here, but it's not a subject of this video, that's why I'm not going into more details. But to make it super simple, if you buy at one point and you close your position on a later stage, you are benefiting this difference. Same thing on the other side, if you are shorting for whatever reason the market and you sell, let's say you sell Dow Jones because it crosses that level line and you sell it at that level, and then you put a stop loss right in here and you put a take profit down in here, you will be profiting that difference if you open a short position at that point and you close it at that point. You will still benefit this difference. This is why it is called CFD trading or contract for difference. There is one more broker that is not listed in here. It's called Darwin X, which I've been using quite a lot for algorithmic trading and I never had issues with it. And as I said, I will share with you some strategies that I'm using for trading and for investing. So the first one I want to show you is for Apple. And if you're an experienced trader, I'm pretty sure you will know already what I'm using just by looking at my screen. But if you're not, that's the Apple chart on daily time frame. So each candlestick represents 1 day time, and what I have here are those trend lines or counter trend lines, depends if we are in the direction of the trend. But whenever the price breaks such a trend line, I'm buying it. Now for the last 2022 this strategy worked really well because right in here we had that counter trend line very nicely. So to draw a precise trend line you need to have at least 2 points, one from the top usually and then one from a lower high, and then I had one more in here. So starting from that high, connecting this lower high, and then the price broke and I took some profits in here. Then we had another one starting from this top, connected to these lower highs, and then the price broke right in here. I have bought here for a different reason, but recently with discounted trend line I have bought one more time, and now the price is a little bit above. So here I took quick profits, and then we had another drop. So right now actually the price is about to form this double bottom. If I make it red, you will see what I'm talking about. So right at that point we have kind of double bottom, but it will be confirmed if only the price breaks through this middle point right in here. Okay, so this is the middle point for the double bottom, and we say that this double bottom is confirmed if the price breaks the midpoint. Okay, so if it breaks 157.70, then we have a confirmed double bottom. However, I bought it earlier once this trend line was broken. We'll see how this will go. I usually take quick profits with CFD trading after I have entry if the price goes in my favor, but when it comes to investing, I always aim to buy the price at a cheaper level. So if you ignore the trend lines and all the drawings I have on the chart, and if you just focus on these retracements, you will see that from the all-time high that we had in January this year, the price lost almost 30%. And then from the next high, it lost 28%. And now from the very last high, we have maximum loss of 23%. So when I'm investing into Apple or other US stocks, I am buying every time the price loses 10%. And I have shared quite many times that I love to invest in Apple for different reasons, but that's my personal choice. I don't recommend you investing in Apple. I'm just sharing the different strategies. So I feel comfortable purchasing Apple every time the price loses 10%. I actually share all of these investments on my Patreon page. You can check out the link below. And for longer term investments, I'm using one mobile app that is quite interesting. And that is the Trading 212 mobile app, which I've been using for quite a long time now. It is very easy to use, and you are actually investing in real stocks. So if I display the app by my side, you will see that for Apple, for example, I have my average price sitting at 154.61, and I have total invested 2,900 in 20 shares, and currently I'm on a little bit of a loss, like 23 euro or 0.8%. However, what I want to show you is not my investment with Apple, but I want to show you the app, which is really easy to use. You can see key ratios like dividends. I've been receiving dividends for Apple. Even 0.61 is really low dividend compared to what the other companies offer. Somewhere between 3 to 5% is pretty good if you are looking for dividend strategy. But then you have a lot of financials and information about the company, like how many employees they have, what is the sector, and there are quite many more details. However, if I go to the home page, you will see that you can buy not just Apple, but Google, Amazon, PayPal, Tesla. All of the popular stocks are right in here, as well as some of the indexes like the S&P 500. You can filter them by top winners, top losers, the most popular ones. Again, we have Tesla, Apple, NEO, Coinbase, Netflix, Meta, Alibaba, and many more. However, when you are trading with such apps like Trading 212, you don't use leverage, which means that if you want to buy one Google stock, for example, you will have to pay the actual $98. While with CFD trading and the brokers I shared with you, you can use leverage 1 to 100 or 1 to 500, which means that you can open positions 500 times bigger than the amount you have in your account, which is quite risky, but it gives you the chance to profit way faster. However, one more time, I'm using CFD trading for trading, and Trading 212 for investing in the short term. I'm not really the person who plans to hold stocks for ages. Whenever I'm on a decent profit, I just sell them and I take my profits out of the platform, and then when there are new opportunities at a lower price, I would buy again. Now the Trading 212 is suitable if you are in Europe, but if you are in the States, for example, the best broker for US stock trading is Robinhood, as far as I know from my subscribers and students, but I haven't used it and I cannot really say how transparent they are with their speed of execution, dividends, and when you want to withdraw funds. And if you want to compare a few in the US, you should check not just Robinhood but TD Ameritrade and Interactive Brokers. But when it comes to CFD trading, I know that my subscribers are using quite a lot Forex.com, Wanda and IG. And if you're located in India, for example, then you should compare Zerodha, Angel Broking and Upstocks. And if you're located anywhere else in the world, make sure you check the brokers that are regulated. Because at the end of the day, when you invest your money with a broker and you fund your account, you have to be certain that you will be able to withdraw it. So the best test is to fund an account with a small amount, let's say $100 or $200, make a few transactions, invest in some stocks, sell them and withdraw your money. If it works well, then it is a good sign that the broker is trusty and regulated. Of course, make your own research before selecting a broker, and splitting your portfolio among a few brokers is the best thing you can do, because you can see what happened with FTX. We never know which broker, platform, exchange or app will go bankrupt and we may not be able to withdraw any funds from it. However, at the end of the day, make sure not to invest all of your savings or risk capital into stocks, crypto or any other volatile assets, because all the time there is something happening. It was the pandemic, now we have an official recession, and right before that we had the war in Ukraine, which is still not over, but there is always something happening on the market which is a good enough reason to crash the markets. That is why I personally don't invest more than 10% of my capital into US stock trading. But that's not a financial advice, this is how I'm doing it and this is where I feel confident and convenient with my investments. Now I thank you guys so much for watching and staying with me until the end of the video. I will drop some links down below in the description as well. If you are located in Europe, you can grab a free stock from Trading 212. If you use the link down below the video, I will get one as well, and we will hope together that the market will go upwards. Thank you so much for watching. Check out this gold trading video that will make it easy for you, because I share a free robot, and feel free to drop any questions down in the comments. Take care, have a wonderful day, and don't forget that I love you.